All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the January mid-month weed up. That's where I'm at. Welcome. I'm getting over a cold, so I've got a little medicine brain, but welcome everyone. So we're trying a slightly later time that will hopefully help some of the West Coast people be able to make it. So we'll see. But thank you for being here. We're slowly letting people in. Caddy, I love that you have then and now pictures of you up. Amazing. Okay, slowly everyone's coming in. Okay, so the gig is you can talk whenever you want and jump in whenever you want, but if you have a bunch of background noise, if you would mute, that would be rad. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
I just have a couple of single scenes.
Olga, good to see you. Did you see that we sent an email out?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I want to thank you so much, and everyone who.
I hope it's helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so glad. For those of you that weren't here at the last meeting and did not see our newsletter that went out on Saturday, I believe, Olga's family she still has family in the Ukraine, and she and her mom are doing work to raise money for not only her own family, but other Ukrainian people through her Etsy shop. And there's also a GoFundMe to help out. And so we sent out a newsletter with links. But if you missed that and you need links, Olga, please feel free to post any of those in the chat.
Sounds good.
You should explain that. I'm just pushing through, sometimes it's just getting started.
Yeah, so what do I got? So hopefully everybody had good holidays and have dove into the new year. We hit the ground running per usual, so we're trying to catch up, but we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for this year. I'm working on booking our 5th anniversary box, so that's really fun. And I had a yarn rep in, which we never have. So we're all online, and everything that I've always booked all of our yarns like via email or occasionally on a conference floor. But it just worked out that there was a rep for a few companies, 4 companies, that was in town, and she reached out, and we happened to all be in the studio, and it all worked out. And so that was fun because there was actual samples to see, which is, I'm always doing things just off of screens, and sometimes it's easy and sometimes you get it and it doesn't look anything like what you've committed to. And so this was really nice. And because of all of the things, because of fiber prices going up and because of supply chain issues and like the sort of ramifications or the snowballing rather of all of the things from the pandemic, some of the companies that I had booked for the year for our boxes have fallen through for one reason or another. So we had a bunch of holes, and I was able to fill a few of those with some really beautiful yarns. So that was really good. So we did that in the studio today, and we packed and labeled the Valentine's Day boxes, started working on February boxes, packing. We were supposed to shoot a bunch of videos, but we did not do that. But we got some stuff done, so that was good. I don't really have anything knit-wise to share. Well, I sort of do. So I have a little side gig. I worked in the craft part of the industry for a long time, and I haven't done it in a minute. It used to be something that I did regularly, not always in yarn, sometimes in yarn, because I was the spokesperson for 7 years for Yarnspirations brands, but also in paint and general craft. I did a crafting column for PBS Parents and a kids magazine called Kiwi and all this stuff. So general crafting. And I've kind of dipped my toe back in it a little bit, again, just really for fun and just to sort of refresh things. I started working with a paint and markers company, art supplies company called Arteza. You might have heard of them. You might have seen their stuff in, Joann's or Michael's or wherever. And they just launched some yarns, and they're going for the craft, like the craft yarns. Their whole, they're really interested in people playing around with yarn and ultimately mixed media, but also just sort of fun, colorful projects. So they came to me to help launch, to at least do a soft launch of it. And so I've been working on some stuff for that. They have these little boxes. I have one somewhere, but they have these boxes that are filled with 20 little mini skeins. And it's really fun because they have 3 different palettes, but they're kind of ombre. And so because of that, it's very much reminiscent of one of their marker packs or their paint packs or that kind of thing. And I really like symmetry when it comes to that. So I worked a little bit looking up that. And so I did a lot of stuff based on like color swatching and also the patchwork trend that's really big in fashion and crafting right now. And so I applied it to crochet and I did a little like zippy bag. And all of these colors came, this is 15 colors. It all came in one little box, really, really inexpensively. It's acrylic and which is actually a great type of yarn to use for a bag like this. So this was really fun. I had not done this many different color variations in checkered before. It's usually I would just do a couple colors and it was really, really fun. I enjoyed it. So this is a project that's up on their, blog right now, and they're running ads for that. So I took a little side time to do that. And then I did another one with their other palette. It comes with 20 colors. And so I wanted to do a project that used all 20, but also working on that same like patchwork trend and swatching. And so I did a seam as you go mitered square cowl that used all the colors. And that was really fun. Because I mean, let's be honest, I would love to make this again in hand dyed yarn. But at the same time, like to practice this, like if you're going to use 20 different yarns, that's a really spendy project. So this was a fun way to be able to experiment with that and utilize all the colors. So that, I don't think that's up yet, but it will be up. So that's just a little side project I've been working on. And then other than that, just working on March's box project. And I meant to pick up the poncho that I've been working on from Knit Collage, but then I got distracted again. So I need to go back to that. But that's really all I've got knitting wise. So I would love to see what you're all making. I mean, how your New Year's going, any of the things. So Chris, why don't you share what you are working on? Because, well, I would say, so I'm wearing a sweatshirt from our former designer in residence, Tony Lipsy. It is my granny in training sweatshirt. And I mention that now because it is a segue to what Chris is working on.
I am working on Tony Lipsy's rancher shawl, which is Tunisian crochet. And it has these fun color changes. I'm just now getting into the rusty area. And when the whole thing is done, it gets little teeny tassels that run all along it, and I can't wait. I've saved little bits of all the colors. It'll probably end with white or gray at the bottom. All the tassels will be that color with just a little bit of everything that's along the way in each of them.
Those little mini tassels, I mean, I know that was redundant, but they are just the cutest. I just, for me, that made the entire project.
I can't stand it.
I'm going to see if I can, let me see if I can. I think I talked about this. I'm going to show everyone. So let me share my screen. Okay. So this is the project, but look at these little tiny tassels. They're just like, I don't know what it is, but for me, I was just like that, like, that's it. That's the project.
Yeah. I'm in. Yeah.
And she did this, in partnership with a company that had this hand-dyed like mini set. So it's just like perfect for it, but you can do it with what Chris is doing is he went and checked out his stash and all those little bits that you have left.
Little teeny balls of leftovers. Yeah. Some are bigger than others, but.
Yeah. So it was just like a great, I love that.
Nice.
I have this grand plan of all of my scraps, putting them either by weight or by color, probably by color. To be honest, it's going to be by color. I'm already, so that for scrap projects like that, I can just go and grab. And I've started doing it before, but I've never really gotten to a point where I could just go and grab like that. And I think it would be a really great way to sort of prevent waste, but also it'd be pretty. So I love it. I love it. Do you want to share what you're wearing?
This is actually an old pattern of mine. This is called Rasasi. It has really big holes in it.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
That's cool. I got to change my view.
Rasasi being the Swahili word for gunshot. I'm so clever.
Wait, what?
I wanted something that, you know, wasn't like delicate.
Take me down the road of how you found that name.
You go to an online dictionary and type in a bunch of words like gunshot and just see what other languages it's in. And I'm like,
so you typed in the word gunshot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Fair. If you, I asked. Well, if you have
one of Chris's darker days.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know Claudia was here, but I just heard her voice. So,
I'm here.
So is that pattern on Ravelry? Can you post a link to it? Or does it not exist? Okay, it's there. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, Claudia, since I called you out, do you have your leg warmers with you?
Yes, I am knitting leg warmers because I've become a person who's always cold now. So they're really cute. They're the Olalie pattern on Ravelry. OLALLIE, I think it is. But they're nice and it's made out of Thundercloud Montoya Merino, and they're so squishy and lovely. I can't wait to wear them. I'm about to finish my first one.
I think I'm gonna make some of those for Pilates because it's not mistake rib, but broken rib, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's not even that. It's a slip stitch pattern. You do two rows of knit, and then you alternate two rows of all knitting, then a row of alternating slip stitch with a knit stitch around, and then the next row you slip the same stitches again, but purl the ones that you're not slipping. And it just makes a really cushy, thermal, lovely pattern. But I also wanted to show my other thing.
Oh, do it.
My tea cozy.
Oh, I forgot about this. Behold, everyone, behold.
I made myself a Jameson and Smith's tea cozy. And it was so much fun. It even has steaks for the handle and the spout.
Because she's fancy.
It's great. I love that. Oh, and I added a tassel because Vicky's tassel makers are so wonderful.
We need to make those ourselves. We ordered those from a company in New York, but now that we have a laser cutter, we need to get the dimensions and make those again. Because for the project that I was telling you about before, working with Arteza, I'm doing a tassel project too. They wanted just like a crafty thing. So they're big, it wouldn't work anyway, but I've just been making tassels the regular way, like just around a book or whatever. Not as good.
No, not at all. Especially with that little circular thing. Like I was looking at that tassel maker thinking, why is this here? And then I watched your video.
I don't know if I don't have one here to show people for those of you that don't know, but it's like this little plastic piece, and I did not invent this. Like they've been around. We just had aqua ones made because, and it has a place to wrap, but then it has a place to pull up the bottom, like so that you can tie around. So it's like right at the same height that you need. And then you pull it up higher through a slit, and then you can cut, and it's completely even.
So good.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. I wish that I knew who to credit because it's really amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm also still working on my malachite cardigan, but I got distracted by smaller projects because I feel like I never complete anything. I do these big projects that take forever to complete. So I needed to get some finished objects off my knees.
Okay.
This is why I make small stuff all the time, for that very thing. I need to have that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mylinka, you haven't been here in a minute. What are you working on? You have to unmute first.
Yeah, I have to unmute. I know. I've forgotten how to Zoom, and I'm glad you caught me right time. I'm actually winding. I'm winding yarn into cakes, so I'm glad it just stopped. I just finished a project, something I've been wanting to try for a while. This is the it's the signed pooling stitch knit shawl, so it's got kind of a lace thing. It was I got it from Garm Manufacturer is the yarn, and I actually
is it a Barker wool thing?
It is. This was through I got it from Makers Mercantile, and it's Kyle Kunicki.
Oh yeah,
who made the pattern, so I can put the pattern in, but it's called Nordic Lights. And I kind of been wanting to play around a little bit with since we did the assigned pooling, right, in the box, I was like, I'm gonna do something big, and I've been kind of looking at neons, and yeah, and then I was just, my phone heard me, and I was like, you should find this kit.
Yeah.
And so the base on this, I thought it was black, and my lighting in here is not very good, but it's actually charcoal.
It's really pretty. I love the pops.
Charcoal. And then the pops of neon, and so yeah, it was nice and easy because it's just until you get to the neon, and then it was a really easy, just like yarn over, yarn two together, right? Or pearl.
I'm going to show people just because of the lighting. Let me show people.
Yeah, my lighting's kind of crap in my office. I finally set up.
I mean, you don't have a ring light in your office? Come on.
You know what? I think I have one somewhere.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? This is totally my jam. Like, this is totally my kind of thing.
You know what? I actually thought of you. Although I think maybe I increased in weird places. I need to block it, but it has an odd shape. But that's okay. It's just for me. So
it looks like, and I might be reading this wrong because I'm not reading the pattern. It looks like when the color changes, there's a stitch, like a textured stitch.
Yeah, there is. And so
that's cool.
It's actually almost like a lacy part. So it's just the salt where the solid is stockinette. And then it's kind of this, it's hard to tell with my lighting, but it's really kind of open wherever the neon is. So it was really. Yeah,
that's really fun. We're going to work on some, well, I guess that's planned pooling. I guess assigned pool. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because they called it like planned pool. And then the other thing I'm working on is, I know I've had it on my Instagram and stuff before, that I have a little 5-month-old, I can't believe he's 5 months old now, grandbaby. And
you do?
Yeah, one of my graduate students asked if my husband and I would be interested in being grandparents, because I know, and I don't have kids, so I got to skip the whole kid thing and go straight to grandma, which is kind of nice. Because I keep him like once a week when they need it, and then he goes home. So it's perfect. I recommend it. But
I love that you got adopted as a grandmother.
I know, I do too. At first I was like, I don't know about that, but yeah, he's ridiculous and he's adorable. And so she sent me a picture that she saw on Instagram of a crocheted balloon animal dog, and she's like, do you think you can make this? And I was like, that might be out of my thing, but of course
it's not.
Well, yeah, because I looked, and so this is basically the tail. We've started the tail and the first leg, and then it looks like sausage. Little sausage ball.
Wait, it's stuffed already? I'm confused.
Yeah, you stuff as you go.
Oh, because you have to, because it gets narrow.
And then it gets narrow and it goes along. And it's crocheting around all the way around. Yeah. And I contacted the person who posted it originally, because of course they're like, can you find the yarn? I was like, I don't know. So I contacted them. Of course, you can find the yarn anywhere. But it's chenille. It's this kind of DK weight chenille yarn, and it's super soft. And it's going to be ridiculously cute. And when I said I wasn't sure if I could do it or not, she sent me an adorable picture of the baby. And so how can I?
So that one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that. And the pattern I have is by the Knot Monster. So I can post it. Yeah. So you make like sausage.
Oh, so you twist it later.
Yeah. So
like you have to be a balloon magician.
Oh,
man.
That's what I thought. And that's why I was like, sorry, kid. I don't care how
I love
cute
it.
It's not happening. No, actually, the pattern I have, it shows you how to basically, fold together, and then you stitch it. You don't have to twist anything. I'll make sure I update the group as the
I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat.
It's together faster than I anticipated. So
I love it.
I'm so far so good.
And what's your grandmother name? Because in Texas, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I grew up in Southern California. I didn't know that there were other options besides grandma and granny. Unless you were British, and then it was Nana.
So
I came here, nobody's called any of those things.
No. So we tossed it around, and because we're not, grandparents for sure. So I'm Lolly and my husband Pop. We're Lolly and Pop. And
so Lolly is apparently pretty common out here. Never heard of it before.
Yeah, I'm Lolly.
There's Mema, but there's also Mima. They're different.
My great grandmother was Mima. Mima and Peepaw were the great grandparents, and I had a granny and a pawpaw. So yep, Texas. 100%.
It's a and when my ex-husband's one of his grandfathers, he'd write it out like what I would say is Papa, like P-A-P-A, but it was pronounced, and I have to see it spelled this way in my head to be able to say it. Pawpaw. I had to write out P-A-W because that's how it was pronounced. That's how it was pronounced. But it took me years to be able to actually just get it naturally out without having to stop and it was a whole new world out here in Grandparent Land. I had no idea. Well, congratulations. The last thing I want to talk about with you is your change in part.
Oh, and my hair?
Well, because I noticed on your Instagrams, because you also had a short side, you had a business side. But you covered it up by changing parts. And to me, I was just like, and your hair did that? Like my
hairdresser is amazing. So I'm growing out the undercut, and it's like poking out everywhere. And I asked her, what can we do? I'm kind of I'm ready for something a little bit different. And she's like, well, you've got cowlicks right here. Your hair will part either direction.
Oh, you have mirroring cowlicks.
So she cut it, and we did purple this time. And but what's crazy is for the last several years, I'm used to it going, I run my hair and then I'm just walking around like this because it's not back the way it's supposed to be. So yeah. And purple.
Fascinating. Not everybody can pull off a part change. Good job.
Thanks. Fun to be back. I'm glad I got to come to this one tonight.
No, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you.
Elizabeth, how's it going? Baron.
Oh, hello, I'm good. I'm still working on the Stephen West knit along shawl. So I'm gonna finish section 2 and take a break because this section's been long, and I want to put it down. And you were talking earlier about being productive, and I just want to pick up a couple of things that I can do in a weekend and then go back. So
I was so when you say this section is long, for those of us,
there's a lot of steps.
Oh,
so he broke it down into 4, like section 1, section, but there's more than one. So this is kind of where I am now, if I can even. So this side panel that has the purple in it, there's 2 of those. So that's part of section, that's only part of section 2, and it's on each side.
How often do these clues come out, or
it was once a week during the month of October. So there were 4 clues. So there, he let you know in like early September, he said, you're going to need to get this, you're going to need to get this. And then October, like 7th, 14th, whatever, 21, 28, a different clue came out. So I'm still working on the second clue.
Okay, so you weren't expected to be up to speed every week.
I hope not.
Okay, fair.
I don't know who can knit that much, and I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. I don't know who can knit that much. I've been working on this for the first section took me about a month, but this clue 1 took me about a month. But I've been working on 2 months now. So
I hope that you love the finished piece so much, or I hope that you're enjoying the journey. One or the other.
Well, it's just a challenge. I always wanted to do one of his shawls, and I may not do any more after this, but
you did it. You did it.
I'm doing it, and
Jen Brian, you made that, didn't you?
I ripped it out. I ripped it. I got through clue 3 and I ripped it out. I didn't like it.
You didn't like the look of it, or you just weren't having fun, or both?
I loved the process. I loved learning the new stitches. I love that crazy what was it called?
The short row.
Not the short rows, when you make a cord, an I cord, and then you
the I cord end.
And then you
Like a
loop
cable.
through, and the cabling was fun, but I did not like the look of it at all. And it could have been, I think it was the colors I chose. I loved my colors, but they just didn't go really well in the shawl.
Yeah, I stuck with muted. These are all, I was going to go flashy, and these are just very muted. So I feel like,
I think that looks so much better than mine did.
right. So
maybe it was not your style, maybe.
It wasn't. I made the one the year before, and I went crazy with my colors. I really enjoyed, again, the process of that one too. Shawlography, I think, was that one.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun, and I really do like that style. This one just wasn't for me, but there's a bunch out there that he has that I'd like to try that are way, way past. So someday I'll pick up another one.
Right. And it's hard because I'm working on a size 4.
Yes, that's the other thing. It's fingering weight, and it's on small needles. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, good job, ladies, with your commitment. Elizabeth, I brought you up to my husband today maybe, because we were talking about my daughter's school. My daughter is in 8th grade, which here is the last year of middle school.
Okay. Yeah, that's in Boston area too.
And she was talking about there's been a dialogue between me and the assistant principal about the lack of time that they have to use the restroom in between classes. They have 4 minutes in between classes, and they don't like them to go during school. And if you are a person with a uterus, that is not always that's not an option. And you shouldn't have to call out as a middle school girl that in the middle of class and take your personal thing. So anyways, we were having conversations, and they said that they've been having a really hard time with bathrooms. And this has been going back and forth. There's been a lot of TikTok challenges, and a lot of vandalism, and a lot of doors being removed and lights being pulled off. But there's also my daughter's she's like, I use the restroom in between classes. And I was like, you never do that. And she's like, I know, but I went in there, and she's like, it reeked of weed and smoking, vaping. And I was like, in the 3 minutes in between, in the 4 minutes in between class, that's what, and she's like, I feel like I smell like it now. And first I was like, this is not a whole charade so that I won't ask you why you smell this way. And she just looked at me. I have a drama nerdy deal. It's not a thing. But at the same time, I was just this, when I was in middle school, of course there were the bad kids that smoked cigarettes way out at recess, but there was 3 of them. Nobody was vandalizing or whatever. So it's a whole new world. But my husband was like, well, they should have people scan in to use bathrooms. I was like, where are they getting the funding? Or they should have somebody that checks. And I was like, I know somebody who monitors a bathroom. Who works for a school that got the budget to have somebody sit and monitor. So I'm assuming it was probably for the same reasons, only in high school. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, they're hiding, they're smoking. Last week there was this week I'm proctoring midterms, but last week there was someone's in here smoking, and one girl I said was in there. I was like, okay, you're either smoking, but you're not. I think you're smoking, but you're not using the bathroom. And I let her leave. I didn't rat her out or anything, but it was just they're smoking, and it's because you can't prove it. We've had kids who we think you're smoking, but we can't prove it. And then vandalism, and one girl says, I want to go see what they wrote about me. It's no.
Yeah.
And these are 9th graders. These are 14-year-old girls. And
you're taking me back to my junior high days.
Yeah.
Really?
You just have to say in and out, and we don't let them use we're not supposed to let them use between classes, but I do. I mean, it's, again, a girl is much different,
yes. And it's a bowl that you should have, there's so many levels to why that doesn't work. But I also empathize with if you've got trash cans being set on fire and doors being removed, and you know, children like tweens, like she's a teenager now, but a lot of them are still like 11 and 12, like, you know, smoking out. Like that's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. So, but anyways, I was just like,
no, and again, yeah, you're right. They have the funding for it. They put aside funding, and
yeah,
but which is kind of funny. But someone like if you're in the middle school and high school, if they didn't have me, teacher would do that during one of her administrative periods.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and I've had to cover the boys' room, and they're easy. They come in and out, and they don't even, which is surprising. I would think.
Really?
The boys are just quick. We don't have issues with boys. I mean, again, they're 9th and 10th graders when they get up to.
They don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but they're not. But like causing mischief.
The boys go in and out, but again, that's the 9th and 10th graders. On the upper campus, there'll be more. There'll be more boys smoking and hanging out, but
you actually.
All right, so
I'm hearing some background.
Yeah, somebody has there's somebody talking in the background. If you wouldn't mind muting, that would be great. Oh, okay.
There we are.
Show me. Yeah, you showed me what. Michelle, what are you working on?
We ferment.
Simpson.
All right, so I have a couple of things that I finished that I wanted to have done by Christmas, but I didn't, so they're finished now. And one of them is I got the RAR kit, the little hat. It is so cute. I'm giving it to my my stepdaughter lives in Portland, Oregon, and she goes to some, you know, protests and things like that. So I made that for her.
Perfect.
It's so cute. I had to try it on. I mean, I'm going to have a hard time giving it to her.
I have to make one in green now. Green is the new color.
I know. I
was so bummed. Like, why are you changing colors?
I know. Well, that comes from Brazil, and yeah, I know. When we have pink left over, we did that. But yes, I know. But it's adorable, and I love it. That's so cute. What else?
Yes, it is very cute. And then instead of making the mitts, I think what month was that? November or something? October. I made the ones from last December and just made them longer. I bought 2 skeins of
I like that.
Juniper.
Okay, so you used the December mitt pattern instead of the December
21
pattern with the November 22 yarn.
Yes. And what's so cool about this yarn, I don't think you can really tell. Well, maybe like it makes its own little design on it, you know, because of the different. Yeah. So those 2 things. And then this is not a YarnYAY thing. This is something I got off Ravelry. I'm working on this mohair sweater for my 20-year-old.
Oh, I like that.
And what's so cool about it, what I love about it, is it uses this elongated stitch. Ready?
I like that.
Yeah. So
what pattern is that?
That is it's called Drop the Game. It's on Ravelry. I don't know I don't know what her name is.
I had a mohair sweater that looked a lot like that on today. That was it's a loopy mango pattern. I made
that
the
one.
shape so much, but it's almost unwearable because of the amount of shedding. Like it's like I forget and then I put it away and then I take it out and I love the shape. But it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't.
This one, I got this yarn at Etsy, and it does not shed as much as the loopy mango, because I made that loopy mango sweater and it was all over me when I was making it.
I need to try, but I love the shape of it. Like it had the little, like you just like aggressively decrease at the end.
Yeah, that little puppy sleeve.
And it has just enough bell out that it hides any shapes. And it's comfy. And so I need to remake it not in that, because there's very few, I don't think I look good in knitwear, actually, ironically. And so there's very few that I actually, you know, like, and I like that, but it's just, I mean, it's unwearable, really.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this one does have long sleeves, but it's also remember. I'm making this for my 20-year-old, and it's kind of a crop top. So a crop sweater, and it has long sleeves on it.
I'm a big fan of the crop silhouette, because then you layer and then there's like divert. Like, where do I look? I don't know. That's my other tactic. I love a crop. I also have no torso, so crop works well for me. But
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I'll definitely check out that. Wait, it looks like Chris is on it. Let me see if I can share. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna share this. Hold on one second. Share. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll have to send this to Becky. She would wear this in a second.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's pretty wearable. I mean, I would definitely like layer it with a tank that came down to my hips and that kind of thing, but oh, it's got a little bit of the bell sleeve too. And it looks like, oh, it's elongated stitches that create that ruching. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the first time I'd ever done those. That it's kind of fun, you know, because you're doing all these yarn overs and then you unravel them in the next row. So
yeah, we had the first time I ever learned about that was, I mean, maybe 2005, 2006. I had a guest called Teva Durham on, it must have been Nitty Gritty. I don't think it was PBS. It was definitely Nitty Gritty. And she did, she had a tank top that had sort of like different levels of, like, she alternated. And it was really cool. And I was pretty new to knitting back then, and I just loved it. And I still love that effect. It doesn't work with all yarns, but when you get the right yarn, it really creates a lot of interest. And I love that it creates the texture of ruching with certain fabrics. So I'm going to check out that pattern, because that actually looks makeable if you don't have a ton of time to make garments, which is my life. So I'm going to check that out for sure. Love it. And good job, Mom, making that.
oh, thank you.
And it'll be even better job if she wears it, because
well, I showed her the pattern. I think having a young person wearing it helped a lot. So.
Tell her she's being ageist.
She is.
Well, I dig it. I'm gonna check that out. What size needles are you working on? Just out of curiosity.
I can't remember. Let's see if I can just see it on them here. Maybe around 6 or so. Actually 9.
Okay. You know what? That's my speed. Love it. Love it. All right. Thank you. Olga, we talked about you in the beginning, but I wanted to check in with you. I wanted to check in on your family, and I want to check in on your knitting. You choose what you want to talk about first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my family, they're doing okay. Well, like no one is hurt, but like I don't know if any of you watched, like last week, there were a lot of bombings in a lot of cities. And that was probably the closest. They live in capital of Ukraine, in Kyiv, and like a bomb fell, and then they take their kids to this playground that is literally like 1 minute walk from their home, and that's where it fell. And so that was like so scary. That's probably the closest that it's gotten to them in the recent months. In the beginning of the war, my aunt lives in a different city that is up north. So her neighborhood was completely destroyed. So now she moved to the capital, moved in with her daughter. So they live together. But they're safe, they're alive. That's the main thing. And we help them out, and they're okay. And I'm sure you heard too that just yesterday they approved more military support. So hopefully, you know, things are moving in the right direction. So hopefully,
yeah,
you know, sooner than later, this nightmare will be over for them.
Were they able to have any form of Ukrainian Christmas over this past week or so?
They did, but you know, unfortunate thing is Putin is really evil person at his core. On New Year's Eve, that's like New Year's Eve considered bigger holiday back home than Christmas. Like they celebrated more.
Okay.
And so he ordered to bomb every major city everywhere on like when the New Year was happening. So as they were all getting ready to sit down for dinner, to have like, you know, everything. They had to run to the shelter with every, in their outfits and whatever. So that's how they spent the New Year's in the basements, in the parking lots and subway stations. Yeah, it was sad, but nonetheless, they're they're tough. They're living through. I'm amazed how many people went back. A lot of people panicked in the beginning and left. And not panic, like rightfully so, right? They were scared for their kids' life and for their life, and that's what my family went through. They moved out for 6 months to Romania. They lived there for 6 months, and then they could not live with the fact like that I left my husband, I left my brother behind. Like, I would rather die altogether than leave half of my family there to die by themselves. And they all moved back, and now they're all just living that. Okay, so now
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. It's really nice. So you can probably see I'm in it like Wednesday mode here. So I got super inspired by your post that you did on that snood, the Wednesday snood. So I had to quickly make one. So I made, but I really love tassels. So I put a lot more than I should. So how you can see, like, they're all over the place.
I love it.
I made this one, and then of course I made the pink one with a lot of them as well.
Oh, good.
And then I had I wanted to make one with popping colors too.
Oh, that's rad. I love it.
Yeah, like this one. And then I posted it online, and then a bunch of my friends not ordered it, but they're like, can you make one for my kid? My neighbor down the street, can you make for my daughter? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's what I'm going to be busy for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Making it for
nice
everyone
neighbor.
else.
Very nice neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, those look great. So that's your current project?
Yeah, current project. And for the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, I need to make another 3 of them for other people.
Well, at least they're fast.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
that's good. Well, it's good to see you, Eva.
And you use a large needle, so.
Yes, it goes really fast.
Okay, let's see. Okay, a lot of people have their cameras off today, so I'm gonna have to be Claudia, do you want to Milrat? I already did Claudia Conrad. Milrat.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
There we go. Unmute. Okay. Hi.
Hi. What's up?
I have a finished project. I finished the Flotini shawl.
Oh, that's pretty. Okay, that's the Barker wool one, right?
So I'm not sure because I bought the yarn from Keith Leonard, and then the pattern was from somebody else, which is in my Ravelry.
Yeah.
But
I think she's the one that's doing that particular style.
I don't have it with me. It looks like cherry blossom to me, like the flower, because it's stretched out and it has a hole there. See?
Yeah.
So it needs to be blocked, but this is my second one. I had leftover yarn, and another girlfriend that made it had some, so she gave it to me. I'm still working on my knit along. So I got into a knit along called Winter Wonderland. See if I can turn this around without losing my stitches. Let me put I got this as a gift. Isn't that so cool? It's a needle holder thing for the stitches.
Point protector. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I couldn't believe this. And there's different ones. My girlfriend gave me this one and a sunflower because I do gardening. Anyway, so this is my Winter Wonderland. It's a rectangle. So it starts at the bottom. You do a section, then it's a garter, another section. The gray is the garter part. And each part, like this is the railroad track, then this is the snowfall. Talks about going to the North Pole. She dropped clues every week. Of course, I'm way behind because everybody finished, you know, late December. So that's what I'm working on. And then it goes like this, and then you make the other half and connect it. So it's a rectangle this way to wrap yourself.
Pretty.
So 2 rectangles. And that's it. That's all I got.
You've been busy. Looks good. Love it.
And in between, I'm working still on my master knitter level 2, plowing along. So that takes up a lot of time.
Well, good job. Love it. I see that my cousin Mary's here. Mary, you're back from Italy. You want to share? You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I'm fine. Hold on. I'm not muted, am I?
No, you're good. So you're back from Italy, which I want to talk to you about at another time because your timing there.
Italy was awesome. Yeah. And I think Monty just got home. I think I saw his car late. So I have always wanted to knit something round. And so I don't know if I can, the lighting is bad. I had to plug in my iPad. So you can't see it. Let me turn. That's probably not going to help. This is very lacy. Ooh. It's lace. It's round. I can't show it. Well, it's round. It's lace. It's going to be about 6 feet wide eventually.
Were you showing me this when we were at my mom's retirement? Were you talking about?
No, I hadn't started on it.
But were you talking about this? Is this for Maria?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I remember this project. Okay. So
yeah.
Are you comfortable telling the story
of why I'm doing it?
Yeah. You don't have to.
With this. Yeah. With this group, I don't care because it's not social. So when I was at the end of 2020, I found out that melanoma had come back and we thought it was really bad. And so my daughter is 24, doesn't have a boyfriend or anything, but I decided is this the story that you want me to say?
I want you to say whatever you want to say.
Okay. I don't remember what I told you. Sorry. So I looked at a pattern and I bought some yarn to make what could be a veil or a baby baptismal shawl, whatever, wedding shawl. And then I found out that I'm actually doing fine. My health is not as bad as we thought, but I'm still making it. And Maria knows nothing about this. So she's not in this group, so I don't have to worry about it. Anyway, it's very, can you see? You can't see it. The light's just not good.
You can't. No, you can. You can. It's delicate and beautiful and
very delicate. And it's got, big holes in it. The eyes of
your chandelier is amazing too.
Oh yeah, and so is Monty.
This is my cousin Monty.
I recognize that voice.
Hi, Monty. Yeah, the chandelier is great. I got that at an antique store in Pittsburgh. So anyway,
Monty's mom and my dad were brother and sister. Carry on. All right, we're
Right. Anyway, so that's all I work. And I like big projects that take forever. So I figured this will take me a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm on row 100. I was on 102. I had to go back to my lifeline. I made a mistake. And now I'm back up to 100 and it's going to be about 266, but they keeps getting bigger. So it takes me an hour or so to do one row right now.
That's a lot. Eventually, that's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's fine. It's super repetitive because each pattern is 19 stitches. So I just do those same 19 stitches, whatever it is, however many times, 18 times. It's 270 stitches in a row.
I probably know the answer to this before you even ask it, but maybe not. Are you a knit in solitude person, or are you like in quiet or are you able to do that while binging a show?
I totally can binge a show, and I've been knitting while everyone's talking and listening because the pattern is so repetitive. I can do it. but I can't, if it's super intricate, I need quiet.
Yeah.
But normally I can do whatever. I was part of a knitting group when we lived in Michigan, and we could chat and I could knit at the same time. No problem, as long as it wasn't something crazy. And this I thought was going to be crazy, but it's really not. And the only reason I made a mistake is I accidentally slipped a bunch of stitches off the needle as I was adjusting it, and I couldn't rework it. I had to go back to my lifeline. So, which is about, so a lot of time. So,
do you remember the name of that pattern?
It's called Wedding Peacock. It's on Ravelry. And I think it's called Wedding Peacock Shawl, or Peacock Wedding Shawl.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And it's, it's a big round one, and they show it in like a beautiful blue or blue-green, but I'm doing it in white just in case it's used for, as I said, for like a baby or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm part of it is I just wanted to learn to knit, get those initial stitches, those little tiny stitches.
Yeah.
Which I was able to do. So that was exciting.
Oh, it looks
different than a sock, Yeah.
So,
oh, it looks amazing. And it's, number 3 needles and tiny and I forget what's the lightest weight besides cobweb.
Lace. Lace or finger?
Lace. It's lace. It's lace weight. Yeah. So that's that.
Well, it looks good. Well, like off boards, I want to hear about your trip, but we can talk.
Yeah, we can do that later. It was awesome. That's a short answer. So
good.
Since Monty is home, I'm gonna hang up, but it was good seeing you.
All right, bye.
Nice to hear about everyone's projects. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so let's see. Who is next? I mean, you could raise your hand, or I could just randomly call people. It's up to you. Jen Barron, I haven't heard you today.
Hey, I just finished yesterday from the Advent calendar, my first Advent calendar, the ribbon candy shawl.
Yay! Oh, it looks cute.
It is gorgeous. This was so much fun, and with the the increases and decreases to make the waves, just super cool.
Oh, it's cute.
Really like it.
Colors.
We should probably release those patterns.
You should.
Well, our dilemma is that we don't carry those yarn. Like, well, I guess this is a good time to say that we're releasing a bunch of the bundle. As of tonight, Chris just hit publish.
You did? I was going to ask you because I want more colors.
Oh, we'll do it now. It's up now. We only have 10 bundles. So what we did. So for those of you that don't know, we did this 12 days of Yay. It was an Advent thing. We do something different every year. And this particular one, you got one full hank of Montoya Merino Light, and then you got 12 mini skeins. And some of the minis were colors that were already in the line, but the majority of them were new and just for this. And we had not a ton, but we did have some left. And so we bundled them all together in sort of like pallets that worked, and pallets of 5. And so we have bundles up right now on the website, and Chris just posted it. We also put, we don't have anything for crochet, but we do have a million crochet decape patterns. This is a great pattern if you have a bunch of scraps, or I'm sorry, this is a great project if you have a bunch of scraps. We did these just wristies that are striped. We just threw up a pattern for that. So you can get them. We separated them in blues, reds, greens, and purples. And so we have them up online. And so you get a bundle of 5, which it just equals basically a full hank. It's the same yardage as if you bought one. So we only
funny because before I jumped on, I was doing a bunch of math on what I have left over and figuring out the yardage, because I want to use this for the Block Builder Club, the colors I had left over.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So in my cart is Boulder and the blue, which I can't remember the name of it. It's here somewhere. Because those were the two that are available in the larger hanks. So nobody go out right now and touch the boots.
Let me be your shopping concierge right now. So right now, so they're up right now. And so we put them in little, so these are the wrist warmers that we did. But if you're a crocheter, we have any of our one hank projects will work with this that take one hank of Montoya Merino Light. So you can go there. So we split them up just in different pallets. And so you buy them in little, the bundle costs the same as one hank would essentially. So we only have 10 of each bundle left. So just letting you know that, but that just went, we're going to send an email about it tomorrow. But they just, right before we jumped on, Chris just hit published. So yeah, if you'd like those.
That's why I waited to actually, I didn't, everything's still sitting in my cart because I wanted to ask you if you were going to come out with any of the colors again. So perfect timing.
And then there are a few of those colors that are coming out in spring in normal hanks. It was, but just like insider scoop, since we're all here, one of them was supposed to be a neon coral, which I just loved. And there's some issue getting neons right now in Turkey where we died. And so we had to pivot from that. So there are a few that will be coming out that way, but most of these minis, like this is it for those colors. So if you're into it.
Well, and I also want to say, I did get for Christmas, my mother got me the Tunisian crochet Vicky Hall set. So thank you. I think Chris, are you the one doing the Reacher shawl?
Oh, the Rancher, yes.
The Rancher shawl. So I wrote that down because I don't have any clue what to make with it. So
you should definitely do that. Also, I don't know if you have, do you have Tony's book?
I do not have her book.
She's got. Am I using it to prop up my? Tony has a great Tunisian crochet book if you're interested.
Oh.
If you're going to use scraps, you should just get that Rancher pattern for sure. But she's got this this handbook.
Fusion crochet. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of fun little projects in it for sure. So that's an option too.
Okay, perfect.
So good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Good job. Good job. I love these Tunisian, like super chunky, like chenille. Wait, can you see them? Chenille pillows. They're so fun. Anyways, I digress. All right. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's already been an hour. So now we're going to go on a raise your hand.
I see Dara has her hand up.
Okay, then go. Because there we are. Okay. And then after that, it'll be Veronica. Okay. So Dara, you're first, and then Veronica, you'll be next.
Well, I had a question with your yarn.
Yeah.
Do you only sell it in the hanks, or do you wind it up?
We only sell it in the hanks. We don't have the staffing to wind.
Okay. Yeah, no, I had this horrible freak accident, got thrown into a revolving door with a weight of 80 pounds. And so now I can only like crochet for 15 minutes at a time. And when I wind, I once bought a hank, and the winding it up, that's why I was hoping you might do that.
So Dara, when you have a story like that, email us and we can make some exceptions. We just don't offer this for, like, if it's somebody in our community that has a need other than I just don't feel like winding, which hey, like I get, but we just don't have the infrastructure for that. But if somebody's going through something, like, we got you. Just like email support.
Yeah.
Email support when you're going to order something and tell them Vicky said to email you, and we'll make sure that happens.
So yeah, so I came, this is my first time with the group. So hi everyone. I came here straight from my yin yoga Zoom class, and I'm working on my yoga instructor loves scarves. So I'm making her, I don't know if you can really see it, but
it's so cute, the chakras.
I'm making her, it has shells, and well, I'm doing 3 designs on it. So it does have shells and I don't know what it's called. Then I got this little separation block, and now I'm starting the third design here. And I'm actually proud because I'm writing it up as I'm doing it. And I'm also social action, one of the social action groups I belong to, we adopted 2 family refugees from Ukraine, helping them. They live about a mile from where I live, and we've been helping them get set up and trying to help them get jobs and learn English and give them everything they need to get set up. So another project I'm doing is I'm making wind spinners in the colors of the Ukrainian flag to give to everyone in our group, and just, you know, to get that support, that show out there. And I've been crocheting hearts in the colors of the Ukraine flag and making pins. And I live in Northern Virginia, so yeah, so that's what I've been working on. This from my yoga instructor. And oh, also it's been really crazy. I never did a temperature blanket or anything, so I decided to do a temperature shawl. And so we started January in the 60s, so I never thought, I'm pretty happy with how my colors are, and I'm just doing every 2 weeks. I mean, every 2 days, the app.
Yeah.
And using an E-hook or a D-hook, I forgot.
Oh, it's small.
But so that, you know, just the average of the high average of every 2 days. And yeah, so that's.
Love it.
So,
I would love to do a temperature thing, but I live in Austin, and there's like, it's just hot. Like it would just be really boring. So it's kind of a bummer. Like, I would love to do it. I should just do it from a place like that I don't live, maybe.
Well, you know, you could also do, well, where were you born?
Colorado. That would be better.
So,
Colorado would be much better. Yeah.
Like, for instance, I was born, like, there's that, there are these websites where you can get the historic daily temperatures. So, you know, I'm 63. So what I can do
it for your year, like the year you were born.
That's what I'm going to do after this
Love
one.
it.
And then, you know, I don't know, I'm probably going to take pictures or maybe give one to our local 350 chapter or something, because I was born in a blizzard.
Yeah.
You know, so they were, I mean, just, I remember looking at the temperatures for January when I was born, and it was like all in the 30s. And the first week of January here, it was in the 60s, and it's been averaging in the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you could really definitely do one, you know, just go and get the historic average for Colorado. And that would be.
I love that as an idea. I mean, it's very specific person that you would make it for, but it would be a really cool gift for like a monumental birthday, you know, like for one of their big birthdays, if you did it for their birth year or that year, whatever. But like, and that was like that was the gift.
Yeah.
That's so neat. Like, that's just such a special thing. I love that idea.
I made a huge mistake. My niece, when she got married, I love her husband, and I love my niece's in-laws. And so I got her mother-in-law into crocheting. And so now the problem with that is like they're saying, don't make anything for the kids, because Barbara's making everything, and Barbara's the grandmother. I'm only the great aunt.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I understand, you know, you want to showcase grandma's stuff, and I have all these baby colors of like, yeah.
Well, you got to get on. I don't know if you were here when Malinka was talking, but apparently you can be adopted as a grandmother. So maybe you need to get in on that action.
Yeah, that would be great. So I also crochet for the homeless in in DC and also the local shelter. And I just get so tired of these very dark colors, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Dara, I just want to say thank you for supporting Ukrainian refugees. That's extremely nice of you. And I also wanted to mention, if you want to look me up in this group on Facebook, if I can be of any help to them, either it's translating, I don't know if they speak English very well, but I moved here over 20 years ago with very little, and I know, you know, how it feels. And I can help them with any questions. I'm also a member of nonprofit here in Ohio, and we have a lot of resources helping Ukrainian refugees. So feel free to find me through this community and I can help them as well.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get some paper. Yeah, I definitely will. Fortunately, there are 2 people in our social action committee that work for the State Department and speak Russian and Ukraine fluently. And we have actually an English teacher. So somehow they're working it out, but I would love to connect them with you. That was, I have to say though, that was one thing that brought me pleasure was I got to, for the children, I was able to make a hat and scarf set in their favorite colors. You know, like I worked with their mothers, you know, to find out what their favorite colors were, and took out my softest yarn, and that brought me pleasure because I can't have children, and but yeah, I'll definitely, let me get a piece of paper so I can.
So Olga and Dara, you can direct message each other through the comment section before we hang up. You can try that too here if you want to do that. That might be easier. So if you want to do that. Thank you so much. And Dara, when you make sure that you put a note when you order something, and you can also email support@yarnyay.com, and I'll make sure that your yarn is wound. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I saw your sets and I was like, I've always been hesitant, but thank you.
No, absolutely. Okay, Veronica, you've been waiting patiently. You're up.
Hi. So I don't know was it Jen who got the Tunisian set?
Yeah.
Yep. So just as an FYI, my first Tunisian project that I did with TLC Yarns with Tony was actually called the Party Punch pattern.
Okay.
It's a very light, it's a very like sweet pattern. It's very thin and light and hangs, and it's like a very small shawl, like just like more like of a neck wrap. Yeah. I actually am doing that pattern again, but this time I'm doing it with this like wool. It's wool and alpaca. It's from I'm gonna do this color next, but it's from Sierra. It's Inca Sign from Sierra Yarns, I think it is.
Okay. Beautiful.
But I actually made it in a black with little specks of color that I love. They don't sell that yarn, unfortunately. It was great because it was like not such a big shawl. So if you have like a tight jacket or whatever, it was just perfectly wrap around there. And that piece is short and works really quickly and great for like your first time on.
Oh, a nice start. Oh, thank you so much.
So I love her. I have her book. I'm like crazy obsessed with the Tunisian crochet now. I'm actually making this mess. I can't even bring it over here. It's so huge, but a massive, like soft blanket for my daughter that is variegated, and it's in purple. She loves purple. So it's like from the bottom up, but it's going to be like the size of a queen size like cover. So I've got like 3 multiple projects going. 2 of them are Tunisian, 1 is regular crochet, but once you get onto it, you kind of get hooked. And I know, so be careful what you wish for. And Tony's doing her Make It Cal, like just if you're doing one of her patterns, you can follow along the next couple of weeks. She's been fantastic, so highly recommend her as well. And I loved all the patterns that she helped make for all the YarnYAY boxes I got. So I've been putting those up too.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Gio, I think you were next. Excuse me.
Try drinking some water.
Gio? You're in and out, Gio. I'm not sure.
See you again.
Hey, Gio, we can't see you and you're kind of cutting in and out. Gio, you might have to log off and log back on.
What they have.
I'm gonna go ahead. So Gio, if you go ahead and you jump off and jump back on, we'll circle back to you. Because we couldn't hear you or see you. I just lost the people that had their hands up. Hold on. Oh wait, here we go. Ellen, you want to go next?
Yes. I finished my, I can take that off. Library shawl. Oh, right here.
Oh, that's
And
pretty.
we finished it. Mm-hmm. I think it was probably in November that I talked about it. And what I'm working on right now is the enormous granny square blanket that will go to probably the military hospital in Germany. Mm-hmm. It's a project for an organization I belong to that they're sending them blankets for all the new babies that are born at the hospital.
Oh, I love it. Love it. What was the name of the wrap that you made?
I think it was, oh God, I don't have the directions in front of me.
Oh, no worries. I like
it was probably from, I don't think I was on in December for this meeting. I think it was in November, and I want to say it's like the library shawl or something like that. It's from Knit and Crochet. I know it's from Knit and Crochet Today or Now or whatever they're called.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
And I'm in the middle of a major yarn catastrophe, pulling the yarn out of the ball. It keeps running up on me.
I'm sending you anti-knotting vibes your way.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we've got two more. Carla, you're next.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well, remember the last time we were talking, I was showing something that I was doing. It was a beginning of the project. I think I did I went a little far now. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, look at you go. Good job.
Finished now, it's one arm. And I'm working now the second. See, I put a little charm like I did with crochet, and I put Swarovski pearls too.
Oh, dig it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
love it.
So
great
yeah,
job.
I'm trying to do my best, you know. It's slow, I think, for me. I have to do a lot of stuff at the same time. I don't like to do always the same thing. Maybe everybody likes to do it because, you know, you like to do different stuff. You get bored to see the same colors and the same project, so you change to another. And that's happened to me. So I think I'm doing a lot of, well, let me see, where's my another project around here. Oh, yeah, there you go. Now when I look, okay. When I look, I don't find it. Let me see. Oh, this is my little corner where I need. Anyway, this is another, but this summer. It's a cotton. See?
Great.
Yeah. And I'm doing there. I'm in the body now. And it's gonna be for summer. It's gonna be short sleeves too. So yeah, I'm trying to work in those two, so I don't get bored. And this another little charm that I did too with the crochet flower, a different.
Those are cute. Is that your own pattern?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
I
cute.
did. Yeah.
I bet
like to do you too. Yeah.
If you have a pattern, I bet you people would love to make that if you want to post it in the group.
Yeah, okay.
So cute.
I will share. Yeah. So, yeah, those are cute. Yeah, you make those. And it's very important sometimes to, in the beginning of the row, you know, if you want something charm, something fun to see, you know, it's different and it's not heavy at all because you made it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. Oh, thank you. And well done. You got a lot of stuff done. Good job.
Thank you, Vicky. You
Thank
have
you.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
you.
Carla.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we've got two more. Amy, you're next.
Hi, Vicky. It's my first time here, so I'm
welcome. And I like your situation around your neck.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I just got that one back. So, and it was a little cold in here. So I'm working on a
you don't get to just say that. First of all, you don't get to just say that. What are you wearing?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not out yet. It's coming out next week. It's it's a cowl called Sensation, and it'll be in Cast On magazine next week.
Oh, that's cool. I love how they played with squares and triangles. Very cool. All right, carry on.
Thank you. It's a design of mine, actually.
Dig it. Great job.
Thanks. So, and I'm working on a sweater by Martin Story called Skylark that is heavily modified, that I really kind of want right now, and I still have to do sleeves for it, so I've got a ways to go. Skylark, it's from Martin Story.
Classic. That yarn's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's gosh, the yarn is Forbidden Fiber Company.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And when you say it's heavily modified, what does that mean? Does that mean you're changing
the
shape, the sleeve, the neck?
Yeah, so it's a cardigan. It's a cute cardigan with some cables that just go around. So as designed, these cables just go around the sort of edge of the sleeves and the bottom trim of the cardigan. It was written with this whole section where I've done mistake rib between the cables and up the sides. This was all written to be just twisted stitches, but it was only twisted on every other row. And I didn't like, it looked wonky and it looked poorly knit in the samples. So I just couldn't make that stitch look good. So I substituted that, and I redid the arm side and the whole shape of the sleeve cap, because I don't tend to fit really well in arm size that are a little bit narrow. So, you know, I just I have to rewrite all my sleeves.
So you just add a little length?
I generally rework the arm side to be longer, and then I do redo the sleeve cap so it fits into the modified arm side. So that the sleeve cap, I generally need my sleeves wider around the bicep too. Okay. So then I redo those, and then I shorten my sleeves because I have very short arms. And I added some shaping in the waist and hip.
I'm sharing, keep talking, I'm sharing the design.
So this is really cute. It's a really cute,
great design.
Cute piece. Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate hearing that, because everybody feels, you know, we all feel like, oh, I can't fit into things the way they are. And then you feel like bad and all of those things. And for me, I always have to shorten it in the torso by at least 2, sometimes up to 6 inches. And I have to shorten it up here.
Yeah. And I didn't shorten the torso because it is quite cropped, and I don't want it quite cropped. So for me, it'll hit like it'll hit just about at the hip.
This is really pretty and wearable, and I love it in the green. So I'm excited to see what it looks like when you're done. That's really
nice. So I am too. So I have to get churning on those sleeves.
If you can post a photo, I don't know if you're part of the Facebook group, but if you can, I'd love to see it.
I will join the. I'm not, but I can join. That'd be fun.
Yes, please do. We post a lot of info there, so even if you don't do a lot of the Facebooks, it's good to check in there, because we try to post everything there so that people have a place to go, you know, for reference. So.
Yeah.
And we need to see that pattern when it's available.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna need to see.
This one. Yeah, this is.
You'll post in the group once it's live.
Yeah, it comes out next week with the TKGA's Cast On magazine. So I'll post the link next week when it's there. Yeah,
we love that, and good to see you. Thank you for showing up.
Awesome, thank you. This is a great group. Thanks for having me.
Okay, the last one, YarnYAY Clark. That's probably not the right name.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
Okay, Nicole, that sounds. I was gonna start. I was like, it's probably Nick or Nicole.
My iPhone just has like its own personality. So I've been working. My best friend has breast cancer, so I have stopped all other projects. I'm making hats right now, and trying to find the softest yarn that I can possibly find.
Yeah.
So right now I'm working on, in the middle of cable hell, of kind of an intricate thing that of a merino and alpaca blend that she liked this color. But I'm wondering if anybody has suggestions. I had made her some things. I had like a shabui, there was a blend of merino, alpaca, silk, but she's really looking for something so soft on the shape part, on the ball part. And anyone have any suggestions of things they've done before?
I did a.
Would tencel work with a hat, or is that too slippery?
It would work. It would just drape differently. Ellen, what were you good, or Elizabeth, what were you going to say?
When my cousin had cancer, there was a pattern for a chemo cap, and I used this very soft cashmere, and she loved it. And it was a hand spun, so each skein was different. If I look in my notes, I might be able to find it. I have so many different notebooks of knitting patterns I've done, but it was a cashmere. And it was a hand spun cashmere.
Baby alpaca is usually safe. And if there starts to be any, sometimes animal fibers can be problematic depending on where you are in your treatment or how you're reacting. So sometimes finding like the softest possible, even like acrylic blend, is the way to go. You know, it depends on the particular person.
This is,
yeah.
I mean, I found one that I thought would be just awesome, that was like a hand painted silk and was 100% silk, but it's just not nearly as good as that blend of the silk and wool.
This is Christina, and can I just interject? In Southern California, and it's probably nationwide, I'm not sure, we have a group called Knots of Love, and they make hats for radiation and chemo patients and everything else, and they have a specific list of yarns that are used, and some of them are amazingly inexpensive.
Great.
So you might just want to look them up online.
What's it called again? And we'll post it in the
Knots of Love.
Knots of Love. Okay.
Knots of Love. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Well, good. Well, sending healing vibes to your best friend, and thank you for sharing. And be sure to connect with others here if you've found a point of, if you've found something to talk about or whatever. Please reach out through the group or through social or however you need to. That's what we're here for. Chris has just posted the link in this chat, but what I also try and do is, we're recording this so that people who couldn't make it will see it. So I will post a link to this it'll be tomorrow. It won't be tonight because I'm going to bed after this, but I will post a link to this, and then all of the, Chris sent me the log of the chat that has all the links to all the things that we've talked about. And I put that in the comment section. So if you're not already part of the YarnYAY Facebook group, you can literally only be a part of the group if you're not into Facebook. You don't have to go on for any other reason. We post a lot of the stuff like this on there. So it's just YarnYAY group on Facebook. So I'll post that there as well. All right. So I think that this is the first time that we've gone over almost 30 minutes. It was a really lovely conversation this time. I was not feeling really up to it tonight because all my medicine's wearing off, and it was such a delight. And I'm glad that I'm so glad to be here, and I really appreciate everybody that showed up. So we'll be doing this the yeah, the last Wednesday of every month. So I will see you next month, but hopefully I will see you before then on the boards and on the socials. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great night. And I'll be keeping my eyes out for those works in progress and those finished objects. Thank you, everyone.
Feel better.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.